How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I am coming on the TipRanks channel once a week, and today we have to take a look at some of the craziness that's going to happen in the stock market over the coming weeks. We have earnings season starting to kick off. Some banks are announcing some really good earnings reports. We're going to take a look at those. We're also going to take a look at all the important earnings, or some of the important earnings here in the next couple weeks that could really change the market for the good or the bad. So we're going to talk about that. It's going to affect cryptocurrency too, which will be really interesting. If you guys don't mind though, hitting the like button, I really do appreciate that. Helps out TipRanks a lot. Also hit subscribe. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers. Also, if you guys want any of the links in this video to TipRanks, I will put it underneath the video. And there are timestamps along with the link to get an unfair advantage with TipRanks Premium. So the indexes are all up a decent amount today, all over 1% up. We are starting earnings season here this week. So JPM just reported their earnings. A lot of the big bank earnings are this week. They beat on EPS and revenue pretty significantly on EPS, up about 18%. They beat 18% versus estimates. We also have Bank of America, which beat by 22% and beat revenue by 5.4%. Morgan Stanley, which beat by 22% and 5.7%. Citigroup, that actually beat a significant amount also. So they were expecting about 1.65 earnings per share and they got about 2.15. And then they also beat on revenue also. Wells Fargo also beat by 24% and 3%. I mean, I'm just going through the list of massive banks and they're all beating. US Bank Corp beating by about 13% on EPS and 2% on revenue. Now, a lot of this came from a lot of these different banks having reserves released. So a lot of them had reserve releases because they had so much ready for defaults. A lot of them also made a good amount of money on investment banking revenues. We also have some other companies like Walgreens that reported here today, and they beat by 15% and 3% also. Now, with all that being said, we really start earnings this week, but the really big important tech earnings that have a drastic impact on the market because they are what makes up the majority of the NASDAQ and makes up a good portion of the other indexes too because they are some of the largest companies in the world. They report not next week, but the week after. Now, the first one that I want to look at is Facebook. So they have their earnings on October 24th. They have been consistently beating expectations for the last year, sometimes blowing expectations out of the water. The thing that's going to be interesting about Facebook is we have them saying recently that because of some new privacy features, they're not being able to target as well on their ads. So that could definitely negatively affect them. We also have some scandals coming out about how they're going after profits instead of helping their clients' mental well-being. With that being said, I think that is short-lived. I think that will be a problem short term. They've gone through scandals before, and I think they'll be fine. I think they'll figure out a way to get past it. Their new estimated earnings per share is $3.17. Right now, they're sitting at 330. So right now, this company is pretty cheap. It's only about a 20 to 25 price to earnings ratio. When you consider how quickly they're growing, it's kind of crazy how cheap this company is. So if there's any kind of weakness, it would be probably, in my opinion, a good time to start looking at it as an investment. We also have Alphabet, which has been consistently crushing expectations. I mean, take a look. They've been just dominating every single quarter, and they've been continuously growing for the last 5 quarters in a row. Now, they're expected to have a really good earnings report. They're expected to get another $4 in earnings per share versus what was expected last quarter. Amazon also has been beating expectations. All these FANG stocks have been crushing it. And they also have their earnings report that week, October 27. Apple, same thing, beating expectations consistently. They have their earnings report on October 27 also. Netflix is actually a little bit early. So Netflix is October 18. And they've been a little bit under last quarter. So they actually didn't beat expectations. They actually grew a little bit slower than people expected, but that kind of makes sense because they grew so quickly because of the pandemic that they kind of slowed down a little bit. And that kind of worried investors. However, with Squid Game doing so well recently on their platform, a lot of people are throwing money back at Netflix again. And then this is where it gets very interesting for me. So obviously, those are some of the largest companies in the world. Those are what's going to move the market. But Visa is one that I want to pay attention to because recently they bought a CryptoPunk. And that might not mean anything to you. It's an NFT. That's fine. I don't care about what they bought. I just care that they bought an NFT. The reason I say that is they need Ethereum. They need to have Ethereum to buy those NFTs. So I'm curious to see whether they actually are holding cryptocurrency on their balance sheet, Ethereum specifically. I don't really care about the earnings too much. I don't even hold a position in Visa, but I want to see if they are holding Ethereum and what they're going to say about it when people ask them about cryptocurrencies, because they definitely need a cryptocurrency strategy moving forward. Also, we have Budweiser that's also announcing earnings that week. So Visa is October 25, and then Budweiser is 2 days later, and they also bought an NFT. So they also had to have Ethereum. I'm curious whether they hold Ethereum on their balance sheet. And then obviously we know that Tesla holds Bitcoin. They actually made $1 billion worth of profit from their Bitcoin investment that just came out. I'm curious to see whether they're going to start accepting Bitcoin as payment again. That comes out in less than a week. And I'm also curious to see if they bought any more Bitcoin or what their thoughts are on the cryptocurrency market. I'm sure that they will have to answer that. And they did have a blowout quarter recently, producing way more deliveries than analysts were expecting. And then the last thing that I want to pay attention to is Coinbase. This is still about a month away, but they just announced that they're going to have an NFT platform, and they had 1 million people sign up in the first day. So they're going to build out an NFT platform. If you have heard about OpenSea, that's where most of the volume for NFTs happens. And it only has about 250,000 users compared to Coinbase, which had 1 million people say that they were interested the first day. That is still only a small percentage of the people that are actually on Coinbase too. It's like 2%, less than that. So I think this will drastically grow the NFT market, and it's a great way for Coinbase to make extra money. It's just going to take this to the masses. Let me know your thoughts on all these down below. Which earnings are you most interested in? Thank you so much for watching. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe, and then check out the links down below to get to TipRanks. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.